I'm Zach, and I'm getting by.
I'm Ben, and I'm bi. Wait, no, I'm not.
You sure about that?
I said it because it rhymes, but it's not true.
Ben's coming out. This is getting off the rails quick. I'm gonna just stop.
You never hear people doing that, though.
What, like, hey, I'm still gay.
No, like if someone's gay for like 20 years and then they like come out as bi.
They're like, might as well dip my toe back in.
Yeah, I saw this photo on the internet of a woman. And it was just like, wow, that's great. I don't know.
Well, I'm looking forward to your 20th anniversary.
Unfortunately, it's actually coming up pretty quick, which is crazy to think
I
about.
mean, you're over halfway there, right?
Yeah, it's true. I still remember it well.
Who played on the Super Bowl halftime show that year?
No idea.
Who played in the Super Bowl that year?
No idea. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl this year.
What roller coasters opened that summer?
Well, it was 2010. So actually, there really wasn't that many new rides. Um, yeah, shit, there really wasn't. And actually, because that year, with our mutual friend, we went to we did this like big East Coast trip, and there wasn't like a single new big coaster that year.
Is that when Shoot the Rapids opened?
Yeah, it was. So there was that. That was just that like those like 2-3 years post GFC when like there's just nothing open. Because like yeah, like nothing. There was like no new good rides on the East Coast. I think Sky Rush was like announced that year, but I don't think it was a 2010 ride. I'm almost certain it wasn't.
Intimidator.
Oh, oh yeah, both Intimidators.
Yeah, I-305, Intimidator, both of them.
Yeah, that's right.
I had to come up with something because otherwise our listeners would have. Somebody was getting upset for a sec, and we're sorry.
Oh,
Not
and
really.
Sky Rush was 2012.
So Sky Rush was just a glimmer in the ball sack of Mr. Hershey Park.
Mm-hmm. Although I oddly remember them announcing this ride in 2010 for some reason. Like I'm almost certain I remember sitting in the dorm room the first summer with like
Don't you go fucking gaslighting the Thusies, Ben.
I
I
just
feel like Hershey Park is not the park that would be announcing an attraction like ahead of time in that way.
I'm almost certain of it though cuz I just have this like really vivid memory of um I don't know. I just of like the 2010 dorm room and like having the like I almost remember the nerdy conversations about that ride. People
Well,
like
that's the thing is I'm hesitant to call bullshit because you do have an impressive memory for someone that I've smoked pot with several times. Um, because you'll be like, "Yeah, you ate this and you were wearing that shirt," and I'm like, "Dude, how the fuck do you? Did you just drop your mic in the sink?"
no, I hit it with a can.
Oh,
Um
cheers.
yeah.
Prost. All right. Anyway, yeah, you do have an impressive memory at times, but this is one of those times where I'm like, I don't know, dude. It just seems weird that Hershey would announce something like a year ahead of time, you know?
Or it was yeah, I don't know, or I don't fucking know. I feel like though if I can look up if there's a way to historically look up on Screamscape, like I'm sure I could I don't know. maybe it was like the fall of 2010 or something. I swear it was that year. The only thing I remember about that was like it was around the same time that Darien Lake had that accident, which uh,
I mean, I said it back then and I'll say it again now. If you have two prosthetic legs, how the fuck are you tall enough to ride a roller coaster?
The first accident I ever covered it.
oh shit.
Oh
That was
boy.
loud. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, so the accident was 2011, which
Okay.
means that maybe my Sky Rush memory was also 2011 because I feel like they happened around the same time. So
Conflation.
anyway,
Well, now that we've settled it, I just want to welcome everyone back to Your Favorite Coaster Sucks, where we can give you the most breaking roller coaster news from 14 years ago. Would have been 15, but Ben fucked the dates up. Anyway, welcome back. It's 2025. We're a little bit into 2025, and if you're listening to this, you made it. Congratulations.
yeah, and I mean everyone's still alive, which is good. We're as a species still standing.
For
Um,
now.
yeah,
I mean,
until
we're not gonna bullshit you and tell you things are great.
yeah,
But also, maybe we just don't need to focus on the shit.
yeah, and I mean locally in our own community, we do kind of have a little bit of a Doge situation going on with the Six Flags chain and ripping out rides, but we'll see what happens. Fortunately, other than King Ka, there hasn't been anything too dramatic announced. Although there are rumors blown around of basically you haven't seen anything yet. So
Here's the thing, right? Remember, under Jim Reed Anderson, every Six Flags park got a new ride every year.
mm-hmm.
Well, now under Richard Zimmerman, every park will lose a new ride every year.
Pretty yeah. Kind of reminds me of that Shapiro era. I was like they were removing thrill rides and adding like the Wiggles into
Which
all
was
the
not
park.
which was not a terrible idea because it's an idea, right?
Yeah.
The Cedar Fair idea is just like, I don't know, that one costs a lot to operate. Tear it down. People will come back.
Mm-hmm. The Kingdo Ka one is a little shocking. It's
Yeah, that was surprising because it's like, where are they going to go? Hershey Park? Oh, yeah, shit, they probably will. Fuck.
yeah, and also it actually that one didn't hit me until I saw the photos of the deconstruction that updated like a week or two ago. Seeing it being deconstructed is actually kind of wild because I know it's been like 20 years, but it still doesn't feel that long. Even yeah, it's just weird. Like it's weird seeing that being taken down.
Yeah, and make no
And
mistake, they give no fucks about this ride.
yeah.
The roller coaster museum's not getting any preserved pieces.
And we
Or
know I
maybe
mean,
they are. I don't fucking know, and I don't care.
yeah, I'm actually
Talk to
curious.
me when they're open.
And we've entered 2025 and it's now what, 6 years since they announced that they're trying to open, which we're coming up on a decade. It's pretty funny. Do you think they have any updates for this year
I'm sure they do.
for merch, new merch,
Yeah,
national
I
like
like that they have put the option on their website at least for a bit to was it roast them or something?
okay, so they got a model of a mind bender or of the West Edmonton Mall mind bender, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Um, it is just a model though. I wonder if that was if you could buy that, I'd probably buy that. That looks pretty cool.
Look, I'm not bullshitting. They got a great collection there, and I want to see it. So just open the fuck up, and I'll buy a ticket.
Yeah, they've got no updates on their shit. So
A friend of the show, Lunarus Lance, has been tweeting at them day after day, counting the days of asking them to open.
nice. A lot of people got to start doing that. Put the
Yeah.
pressure back on them.
Send an email, ask them when they're going to open.
Or just be like, or, if you write the email, it'd be like, hey, I was really, or be like, hey, I'm planning on being in town. Where can I buy a ticket in advance? Or, make them tell you it's not open.
Right? Yeah, I'll be in town on March 8th.
Yeah, can I buy a ticket online? Do I just knock on the door?
Yeah, what's the procedure? Because I don't see a ticket purchasing link here.
I first heard of you guys back in 2019. I'm really excited to visit. I'm planning on visiting on this day. I don't see any options online to purchase a ticket.
Although I do see a donation tab. Does it work like I donate to get my admission?
Yeah, everyone just start doing that. Bug the shit out of them.
Is it like a block party where it's a suggested donation to get in?
There's an aerial photo of the building, and so first I love it's just next to a highway, which is, I mean, expected. But then in the photo of the person on the highway of the highway, there's like a truck pulling, I think pulling like a boat, like a jet ski, or like a sports boat, a ski boat. And they've got the bar, like, I mean, the bar looks cool. What the fuck? Dude, this thing's the dumbest fucking idea. It's like somebody's personal collection.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I'd go see it.
Established 2009.
Sure. We'll go with that.
They're going to come up on 20 years of being established and not open. Well,
I like how they revised their website because of the video, but it's still like it doesn't make it sound any better. Oh, established 2009. Okay.
I mean, what have they been? I don't even know. Like, is there somebody there during the day? You know what I mean? Like, are there people like do they have a full-time staff?
I don't think so.
So that shit's just collecting dust all the time. I bet they don't even have like a bathroom in there. That'd be funny if that's why they can't open, because they don't have a bathroom.
Right? They're like they have the bar and everyone is drinking beers and it's like, where can I take a piss? And they're like, all right, well, you got to walk outside and around back.
I have a feeling they got excited about the location. They moved all the shit down there, and there's some like weird permitting thing, and like this, like, like they can't open it as a museum because of some weird classification, or something like that. And now they're just like, well, we don't have the money to move it somewhere else, so we'll just keep this going as long as we can.
Yeah, or like insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They can't open it to the public.
Yeah.
which
I don't
wouldn't
know.
surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating.
It
But
is. But hey, we'll mark it, right? It's February 2025. I'm sure by February 2026, we won't be having this conversation again.
it's so funny at this point. It's been like so many years of a joke, and yeah. Well,
Yeah, hey, like I said, your favorite coaster sucks, where we hit you with the best of the breaking roller coaster news from 14 years ago. Or in this case, 26.
well, speaking of other indoor coasters,
Oh, I just really unmathed that shit. We'll try 16 maybe.
yeah.
We're okay. So, what about
Um,
kitty coasters, Ben?
no, I was saying other of indoor coasters. Okay, and that is kind of funny. High Pro Slide Hive. Anyway, it looked like it just said HIV, and I was just like, what? Um,
That is the scariest ride.
no, Galaxyland. It says that they're preparing to add a new coaster to replace Mindbender, and as
It's
much
a
as I want,
Vekoma Family Junior Boomerang.
well, that's just it. Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I have no expectations of what to expect. Like, part of me is like as cool as it would be, because isn't I mean, there's like other Mattel parks opening those new Vekoma loopers, right? So part of me thinks it's possible they're going to get one of those Vekoma looping coasters. Um, but I could also see them just getting like a SpongeBob Eurofighter clone too. So
That seems pretty likely.
yeah, and it'll be one of those things too, where like obviously like the original Mindbender was built, like the design or the building was kind of designed with the ride in mind, and I have a feeling that whatever they put in there is just gonna like not be incorporated into the building. It'll just be a standalone footprint.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to buy an off the shelf layout.
Yeah, and then it'll just be kind of like
Like,
the
could you
scaffolding and
could
shit.
you motherfuckers at least import the layout of the building into No Limits and fuck around with it a little bit?
Yeah, I just don't really see him spending money. Although, I mean, they did they did buy that custom spinning coaster, which I forgot who made that. Was it Gerstlauer? That one is pretty cool. So they did do that. I mean, that one goes like in and out of different rooms and stuff. Um,
Shit, we got a buddy who could make it just as good of a coaster in 12 by 8 tiles.
yeah, Galaxy
The same
Orbiter.
with the same goddamn bridge and everything.
Hmm. Who the hell built
And
this?
actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that person's name, but I will say cuz I think they're a listener. Congratulations to them cuz they got a promotion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're like full-time
Oh, cool.
shiny name tag and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's like when people say live in the dream, I mean they will be I don't know. I think they'll be honestly, you know, saying that in earnest.
Yeah, that's cool.
But just to really yeah, not put that person's employment situation in question in any way, shape, or form. We won't even mention their name. But congratulations to them because I'm sure they know who they are. And if you just got a promotion, congratulations to you too. Congratulations are in order. You know what else, Ben?
What's that?
This is coming out Friday. It's Friday. It's Valentine's Day.
And your birthday tomorrow?
Well, yes, I'm older now, a year older, and I don't want to say a number because that's no fun. Just a year older. But that's okay. Ben talked me into psychedelics. So,
Talk to you into or out of?
into
Oh.
the way that tends to happen when I hang out with you. So, I think the plan for my birthday may involve that. But, Lord, yeah, Valentine's Day. You got any plans?
um, we were gonna go out to dinner, and then I think we just talked ourselves into just eating at home and not going out because, like, it's kind of a weird day. There's like a lot of unnecessary pressure to do things just because. So
Well, the economy kind of depends on it.
yeah, that's true.
Buy a card, buy flowers, buy chocolate, make dinner reservations, buy champagne.
Yeah,
You're not
but
a good American if you skip on any of that shit.
I always just kind of get the like image of, I don't know, like a miserable straight couple with kids, and they, it's like, all right, we got to do Valentine's Day dinner type of vibe. We got to go to the Applebee's.
All you can eat steak.
Which I can't remember. It was either a Chili's or an Applebee's. But a couple of years ago, when I was, I guess more than that, when I was living in Minneapolis, it was Valentine's Day, and I was just hanging out with a friend, and we were driving back from like the Wisconsin border because you couldn't buy alcohol in Minnesota on Sundays until like a couple of years ago, which I always thought was crazy. Um, but anyway, it was late, and we were like trying to find shit that was open, and then like the only thing that was open was either like a Chili's or like an Applebee's, and it happened to be Valentine's Day, and it was like deep in the suburbs of the Twin Cities, and it was like funny and sad, and because it was just like, I don't know, exactly who you'd expect to be at an Applebee's or a Chili's on Valentine's night in the suburbs in the Midwest.
Did you walk in there like, go Packers?
No, we did walk in like, oh fuck, because it was packed, it was slammed, and they had like, like the special Valentine's Day menu, and there's like people who clearly like do not take each other out for dinner like at all.
And you're like,
cute.
we're just trying to get 2 dozen beers to go.
Oh, good time though.
You know what's weird about Minnesota to me?
What's
Fucking
that?
princes from there.
Yeah.
You ever go to Paisley Park when you lived there?
No. I don't know what that is.
It's like Prince's estate.
I think, like, I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if I've ever like seen it, or maybe I have. I don't know. I know, I think I like rode my bike near it or something, because I remember like being on a bike ride with a group of people and someone pointed it out, but I can't tell you like where or what it looks like or anything. I know that he had that nightclub.
Yeah, I think
on Hennepin. I've never been. I don't think I've been inside of it.
Yeah, it's like a whole fucking compound, I think.
Yeah. There's a few gay bars over there, and then there's what's funny is there's a place called Gay 90s, which I don't think is a gay bar. And then there's like strip clubs. It's a weird. Hennepin is like a weird thing because, well, like, you can't buy alcohol in there's no liquor sales on Sundays. With the exception of restaurants, if like a certain percentage of your sales is food, which is why like most bars in Minneapolis are also have kitchens and like are basically restaurants. It was the number one thing I have.
Interesting.
It was one thing I always hated living there because there's no just like coming from Milwaukee where there's just like bars and taverns and like you know you can there's like bars and people's like house basements in your neighborhood and stuff like that. Like there, everything was a restaurant. So like you'd go with friends and you'd have to like sit at a table and it had a server. It wasn't like a mingling spot. People didn't just like go to the bar and mingle. There was no really like dance floors or anything, with the exception of like clubs. I don't know. It's a weird place.
I mean, to be completely fair, Wisconsin's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're talking about how there's bars everywhere. I remember driving around Kenosha one time, and it's like, there's a kid with a table, and I'm like, oh, they're selling lemonade. And you drive by, and it's like, holy shit, that's a bar.
I remember that there's always like news stories too of like the kid who had the lemonade stand and he was selling like high lifes or something.
Oh my God, I was joking, but it's not surprising.
And it's always just like a feel good story too. And then it shows like the cop like drinking the beer with the kid and they're just like laughing. Sorry, kid, you can't be selling beer. Ha ha ha. But let me buy one off you.
Instead of $1, I'll give you $2.
Corey, the neighborhood entrepreneur, selling lemonade. And also, surprisingly,
Milk.
something else. Hey kid, you have a license for that? No. It's always like the fluff piece.
Kid's like, I can drink them all. That's okay.
But yeah, like yeah, the neighborhood basement bar. I want to like go back and just stay in Milwaukee for a week and
How
just
does your
explore.
how does your liver feel about that?
Uh, it'll probably take some adjusting since I'm still on the dry kick. This for 2025.
That's kind of how I feel. I've been back to Chicago a couple times. And of course, it's been the winter every time. And so I go back and like my family is just like every other Midwestern family. My dad's like, "You want a beer?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's like I kind of like feel weird when I have like I don't know, which is like good. I mean, like I was just at the doctor last week and I had like the best blood work I've ever had. Um so yeah, I don't know. Like and it's weird like how it's just such a communal thing to like there's literally like the bars that are in people's like there's certain neighborhoods in Milwaukee where you walk and it's like a house that's like on a block and it just has like the PAP sign on like a window and you're just like walking into somebody's house and there's just like 7 people drinking in like a basement.
That's insane. Like, in a,
Chicago's got that stuff too though. I mean, it's not like
it's not. There's the thing is, Chicago's crooked, especially with the alcohol licenses. So they'll shut your shit down if you're like, if you got a bar sign. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, but the thing is in Milwaukee they have liquor licenses. It's like you just go through the whatever the tavern league or whatever, like it's easy. It's just easy to get. Or people have like grandfathered themselves into their liquor license, like it's just there's
Yeah,
just so many.
Chicago is like, yeah, liquor license. That's gonna be the personal charge here.
Yeah.
But you know what Chicago has a shitload of is fucking BYOB establishments.
Yeah.
That's the little workaround in Chicago. So like every little shoebox theater and like 3/4 of the restaurants and shit are all BYOB.
That's right. I always forget about that.
Yeah, you just got to find out which ones, because then it's like, worst case, they'll charge you like a corking fee or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
But I mean, yeah, that's kind of like hookah lounges even are BYOB.
Okay.
Like, fuck it, bring in vodka. You want orange juice to mix with it? $8, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking, but whatever. That's the trick in Chicago. That's why everybody you meet from Chicago knows how to sneak liquor in.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, now that I always forget about that. That shit does not fly. Like there's no that concept does not exist um in Wisconsin. Flip
Well,
side
that's
though
that's
is
because, like you were saying, every place is a bar.
yeah. And it's generally pretty cheap. Like um even like last time I was there, like I don't know, shit, like restaurants here in Denver, like you're used to paying like $9 for a beer, and like there the beers are still like $2, $3 a piece.
God,
I mean, depending on where it is, but it's not unreasonable.
cue John Mulaney saying, "I'm pretty sure if we go to nickel shot night, we'll die." But yeah, no, I mean, I remember getting so fucking drunk at the Lakefront Brewery
Yeah.
because that tour is cheap as hell, and they give you 4 fucking pours.
hmm It used to be like six, I remember, and then um, Milwaukee Brewing Company used to be all you can drink for I think it was like $12. And then literally quote from the owner was basically like, yeah, the Chicago tourists came up and like kind of ruined it for everybody, so we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, Chicago. Well, like, and that's the thing is like, I got so goddamn drunk, and then I drove with a caravan of people, friends that I worked with at Six Flags at the time, and like, I was like, whoa, I should not be driving. But like, I am convinced the standard is different in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, that's true. And everyone I knew had a DUI, but like your first one is just like it's like a traffic ticket basically, where you still have to go to court and it's still on your record as a DUI, but basically they're just like, well, it's your first one. Did we spook you? Are you scared? Okay, just don't do it again.
Yeah, dude. Like the fucking like Wisconsin's like the epicenter for the alcoholism of the Midwest. But I just want to make it clear, I know now, especially after moving away, that Chicago is not too far off.
Yeah. I think that what was different, like these are the two vibes that I've experienced between the two cities is like in Chicago, it's like people drink as almost like people drink as much on a day-to-day basis, but like in Chicago you encounter more like really drunk people, like people that are kind of like more like people that are slurring, more people that are acting drunk, and like laughing and like tripping in the streets and stuff. And then in Milwaukee, everyone is just as drunk, but like they're so alcoholic that they're not like outwardly drunk. Like you'll be like talking to somebody and it'll be like a totally normal conversation, but like the smell of alcohol in their breath is so strong. You're like, you're wasted and like you're talking more sober than I am.
I feel
And
like,
then they'll just like get in their car and like, oh yeah, I got to go pick up the kids.
oh Jesus Christ, I feel like there's a lot of like suburban kids in Chicago
Yeah.
that come to the city, and they're, young, potentially underage with a fake. Whereas I don't know, like you said, I think it's more in Wisconsin. There's less of the suburbs. It becomes rural a lot quicker,
Yeah.
and so people are have a lot higher tolerance for alcohol by the time they arrive in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's an incorrect read, but
I mean, yeah, everyone's tolerance, just like thinking about like growing up and like friends and watching parents and like my family and even like the way I used to live, it's just like, it's so crazy. Like how, yeah, you just, you think it's so normal. Like it's just bizarre.
yeah. You remember that New Year's Eve that
Hmm.
I came up there with
Yeah.
we hung out at your house,
Yeah.
the house you were living in, with like those are like your boys from school or whatever, right?
Yeah. And I remember it was like my neighbors were over there or something. There was supposed to be like, I was supposed to have like people over, and then of course like people never. Everybody showed up at like midnight. It was like really late because I remember you guys came up kind of early, and we started drinking, and then you guys had to leave kind of early, and then like yeah, that was a weird night. That was a weird house too.
It was.
I hated that house.
I think didn't I visit you at that same house a different time?
Uh, I'm not. I think so.
And like I met one of your neighbors. Like I mistook your neighbor for you
Maybe.
before you came outside, and like I ended up offering him a beer and we were just chatting.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds right.
Which is one of the only times that's ever actually happened.
Yeah.
Because even in Chicago, when I've offered people a beer, like random people I've just met, they'll be like, "Nah, I'm cool."
Yeah.
And you're like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah. Milwaukee's a very neighborly place. I do miss that. Especially living like in the actual city of Milwaukee. But I romanticize it, and then I think like, oh, well, it's so oriented around alcohol. I don't even know if I could like do that lifestyle sober. Like it wouldn't be the same. Like you can't just like not offer beer
That's
or
what I'm saying.
like
I go back to Chicago and I'm like, man, I do miss it a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know what you do during the winter
yeah, right.
because I don't know what I did during the winter every other year,
Mm-hmm.
aside from like drinking and wishing I was elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But, you know, it's also a grass is greener situation
Yeah, yeah.
because you get elsewhere and it's like, there's like a lot of problems with wherever you are too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the only difference. Like now that see, like now that I've been home or that I've been away for I'm coming up on 11 years away, and now that I'm getting older, I'm kind of thinking about that. Like, oh, like how fun would it be to just like move home? But then like, yeah, you do that for 6 months, and you're just like, oh, that's right. This is exactly how it was before when I hated it and I left. You know, so
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of positive, about the places you come from, but then it's like there's also a reason you left.
yeah,
And things don't change, right? Not
right.
like that.
I mean, that's kind of what the goal was. Duluth is like a nice hybrid because it's like new, but also it's like a nice. It's like there's enough flavor of home to where it feels comfortable, but it's not like actual home. It's still new, but we'll see how things happen politically and if there's a reason to be on the largest source of fresh water and 2 hours from the Canadian border. We'll see. Um,
I mean, I don't mind being in the Bay, but also like, you know, there's a lot of asterisks with that.
yeah,
Like that whole cost of living thing.
Yeah, like I forgot who said someone who was telling me this. Someone was basically because we were talking about like how I moved, like how I lived in Seattle, and I did like that whole work stint in Sacramento and like Palo Alto and San Jose and stuff, and like basically they were just saying like, yeah, the best way to move to the West Coast is to move there as if it's not like your forever home. So just like basically, like move there with an understanding that you'll probably move away at some point and just like take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's
Because if you try to like, because you can spiral about thinking about like, oh man, like where are we going to buy a house? Like if we have kids, like where are they going to go to school? Like all this expense, like where everything's so expensive and like how I'm going to retire and like, but like, it's like, now we're here now. Let's just enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, it's cool to be here.
Yeah. I mean, California's so cool. There's a lot to do out there. A lot to see.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm all about it for now. But yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it because it's definitely like, you know, look, I don't have to tell you all what a high cost of living is like, but man, it stacks up when you're in an apartment you can see every wall of.
Mm-hmm. Even just that whole like there's times too where like you get that where you go out to eat or something and you get the check and you have to like it just doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, like I remember there was this diner in Seattle I would go to like sometimes on Sunday morning, and then like you get the check and it's like, how is this $50? Like I got like a plate, there's a couple eggs, some hash browns, I had like a coffee and like like two beers. It's like $50.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Which yeah, that's you were saying back in Milwaukee things cheaper, man. Going back to Chicago, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I I ended up eating Subway for lunch one day when I was there. Not bragging, but I got, the combo and I bought some cookies and shit. And I was like, they rang up the whole shit. And I'm like, wait, that's it? For real?
Well, did Subway also lower their prices because of the backlash?
Maybe, but like,
Because there was this whole meme about people like on TikTok and stuff, I guess, like going in there and ordering like the $5 footlong and be like, wait a minute, it's not $5. They're like, no, that was 10 years ago. It's now $17.99.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But you get the footlong and everything. All this shit came out to under $20 in Chicago. And I'm like, here in the Bay, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting out with under 25 for all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Um, we got a meetup coming up.
Yeah, that's coming fast.
Sure is. That's what he said. I'm looking forward to it. We'll be here in Southern California in just a couple weeks if you're listening to this on Valentine's Day. There is still time to join us if you'd like. Although we'll have to figure out any arrangements. But just in case you're deciding you'd like to come join, you're free to meet us at any of the parks. We will be at Magic Mountain on Thursday the 27th that evening. Definitely all day on the Friday the 28th. And then we will be at Knott's on the 1st or 2nd, both, I think. So come out and hang out with us, ride some coasters.
It's or San Diego Thursday, Magic Mountain Friday, Saturday, not Sunday.
There you go. So if you're in the area, want to come ride some rides with us, that's the time to do it. I'm gonna give you the TLDR trip report from my trip to Nam. It's a bunch of fun. Real quick, did go to Disneyland 3 different days on the trip. Didn't really only road stuff one of the days really. Only a couple rides. Did a lot of walking around. Had some churros. You know the good shit, right? But Nam, right? That's the correct me if I fuck it up. That's the National Association of Music Merchants. So all the instruments, uh, manufacturers of all sorts, DJ gear and speakers, and it's fucking awesome. It was right at the Anaheim Convention Center. I met Dave Ellefson from Megadeth. He was promoting his coffee, as well as Michael Starr from Steel Panther. It's fucking cool. Got pictures with those dudes. Got to see a bunch of super talented musicians. Tried out some new Rain and Pioneer DJ controllers, as well as one of the new MPC models from Akai. Shit was sick. Found some cool portablest turntables. Korg's got a new model out. Yeah. Oh, saw the keyboard player from Snarky Puppy. Yeah, it was cool.
Was it adjacent to Disney?
Yeah, so the Anaheim Convention Center is like 2 blocks away from Disneyland.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. It was awesome. John Batiste played one night. We tried to see him, but the main promenade was like full, so we couldn't really get a spot. So we only caught like 2 songs of the set. Saw some really, really good performers. Trying to think if there was anything else. I mean, we heard Stevie Wonder was walking around, but didn't see him. And we heard that Verdine from Earth, Wind, and Fire was walking around, but we did not see him either. But it's a fucking blast. It was a great time.
So was there like actual? But there were like actual concert or like live
Yeah,
music?
there's like
Yeah.
Around the whole perimeter of the convention center, there's like stages set up. So all day long, concerts going on. And then at some of the booths, like, that's where we saw like the keyboardist from Snarky Puppy. He was like rocking out on a keyboard, and he had like a DJ with him who was doing beats. But it was just like a booth at a convention on the convention floor.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So that shit's all over the place. And it's like the most talented fucking musicians. Definitely a bit of a imposter syndrome going on when I was walking around there. You know. But I felt pretty comfortable at the Pioneer DJ booth and checking out the rain gear and the Kai gear. Shit that I actually know how to fucking use. But yeah, was there anything super interesting at Disneyland on that trip? It rained. That was weird.
Is that uncommon like this time of year?
Well, this was at the tail end of the fires.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like the the one up by Magic Mountain was just contained
Yeah.
at this time. So I think the rain helped a bunch. But yeah, it had been, I don't know, 2 or 3 months since it had last rained in like all of Southern California. So it was great to have the rain on one hand,
Yeah.
didn't really help with the lines at Disneyland. Oh, Disneyland. Duh. We rode the Haunted Mansion with the new bride. Kind of burying the lead here, but new bride's interesting. Kind of just like floats there.
Wait, so I keep seeing photo like so it's just like a new animatronic or
I don't think it's an animatronic. I think it's a figure with projection mapping, possibly.
okay.
I'm not quite as in the know as some of the Disney crew, so if any of our listeners who are more on the Imagineering end of things understand, feel free to reach out. I'm a little curious about the new bride, how it works on the technical aspect. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Um, I don't know. It's a lot brighter because like the whole thing's kind of illuminated, whereas the old bride, from the videos I saw, because it had been since 2009 since I last rode non-holiday haunted mansion at Disneyland,
Yeah.
was a little darker and the heart was more emphasized, the beating heart.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's like brighter now, which makes me think it's projection mapping on a figure. But it's a little hard to tell because it's so damn dark in that whole ride. Kind of the point. Oh, and we like stopped right before the endless hallway for probably 7-8 minutes. I was really hoping for an in-show exit, but didn't happen.
Has that whole ride been redone recently?
Um,
Or is it just because like
they redid the whole queue last year, and it was closed the whole year until shit, like August, when it came back as Haunted Mansion Holiday.
okay.
So it hadn't been open since 2022.
Oh,
So
okay.
as Haunted Mansion,
Oh.
they had the overlay open, for the holiday season. And they had initially announced that this year the overlay was going to start in November. But then they walked that back right away and moved it back to August like normal, which sucks. Because everyone want to ride Haunted Mansion on Halloween, right? But not possible. And Small World was down. A lot of shit was down, unfortunately. Uh, Railroad was down. Mr. Lincoln's still down. I'm kind of hoping that that'll be open for the meetup with Walt Disney A Wonderful Life, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be open in early March. But I digress. Get your Disneyland fill.
Yeah, I'll have to I'd like to do go back. Although now with Hollywood or whatever, Fast and Furious, I might have to just do like a Disney Universal weekend when that shit opens.
Yeah, at Universal, I highly, highly recommend um, the VIP tour.
That's like through the stadia, like studios and stuff.
Yeah, you get like normally the studio tour is 45 minutes, but you get like an hour and a half one,
Oh, nice.
and you actually get to walk around some of the sets. And then your guide walks you up the line on all the most popular attractions, and then you get an express pass for the rest of the day.
Nice. How much is that?
When we did it back in 2022, I think it was like 350 a person.
Oh, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, not the
But
cheapest thing in the world, but again, You get walked right onto all the major attractions.
Yeah, it's true.
Like they walked us up to Jurassic World and gave us ponchos. They walked us up to Mummy. They walked us up to Transformers, Minions, Harry Potter. And it include breakfast and lunch too, and parking.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's the value proposition is there, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good compared to like I don't know.
Well, like at Disney, it's like probably it's like double that per hour with a minimum of 7 hours, but that's for a group of up to 10.
Wait, it's 700 per hour
Yeah, at Disney.
with a minimum of 7 hours.
I think so.
So 490 a person.
If you get 10 people, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, in Florida, I think it's worthwhile if you can find the right group because if I'm not mistaken, they'll also include transport from park to park.
Okay. Yeah. Does that include admission?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say, well, that's not too bad. It's like double admission, but that's a little different then. But I mean, I guess that's not bad. I guess it's Disney,
also
so
doesn't include food.
oh yeah,
But, different experiences, right?
yeah,
But yeah, you got to go back to Disneyland. You got to ride Tiana's and Rise of the Resistance.
and I think Cars.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Radiator Springs Racers for sure. And yeah, Sea World of Color. I don't know, Soren. If you like that ride, I'm not big on it. But I think
Yeah,
if you go during Food and Wine, they have Soarin' over California. So that's when that ride's good.
what is it normally?
Soaring around the world.
Oh,
It's just a lot more like CG in there.
yeah,
And it's not great. It makes me pretty motion sick. But Soaring over California is an actual film print, because it's a giant curved screen,
yeah.
like a dome, basically. And so, like, on Soaring Around the World, a lot of them have a a curve depending on where you're seated. So if you're on the left side, shit, like especially the Eiffel Tower, it's right in the middle. But if you're seated on the left side, it curves to the left, and if you're seated on the right, it curves to the right.
Oh, yeah,
But yeah, because Soaring over California is an actual film, it doesn't distort in that way. I think
yeah.
they fixed
That
it
makes
at
sense.
Epcot because the ending scene had old Epcot in it. But obviously, not being at Epcot, it's DCA. They didn't have to change anything. So I don't know if they fixed actual distortion problem at DCA. And I don't care to find out.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good to be back, huh?
yeah. I mean, we'll get through the year, next couple years, and got to keep moving. And I guess there might be one more episode before the trip meetup, but
Yeah, and we'll record during the meetup. So, you know, there's that.
Nice.
Yeah. You got anything else, Ben?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Welcome to 2025. Thanks for sticking with us for this long. We'll try our best to keep the uploads coming. So, yeah. Thank y'all, and until next time,
Your
your favorite
favorite
coaster
coaster sucks.
sucks.